Welcome to Floating Nifty Podcast. I'm Shiuwen.
And I'm John.
And I'm Noah.
Yeah.
Got my own microphone this time.
Yeah. But no camera of Noah, so you guys should just use your imagination. And continue to use your imagination, please. Cool. So, John, in the last 2 episodes, we focus more on tea brewing rather than on the, how do you put it?
Tea appreciation.
Tea appreciation.
Tea tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tea tasting, or like more like step by step how to taste tea, that kind of episodes. And I had so much fun.
Me too.
And so remember, one is I talk about tea brewing. Is actually the steps are very simple. You put water into a pot, wait for it, decant the liquid, and drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I talk about how important water is into the pot. And we touch on the
Whirlpool
like
and
circling
Waterfall, yeah.
and waterfall, like on the one point in of water in. And today, let's go back to the beginning and talk about water in again.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is that okay?
That's great.
Why
yeah.
do you have that response? Is that
It's
what?
just it's always new layers, new intricacies.
Correct? Yes,
That's
that's true. So we are going to have the same tea back to back. So
Cool.
I come up
always
with
fun.
2 guy ones. I want to use teapot, but I don't have 2 identical teapots.
That makes sense.
They're all different.
Right?
I mean, this 2 guy one is it's just the pattern is different outside. Inside is the same.
Yeah.
It's made in the same factory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I've been only using a Gaiwan for like a couple months now.
Oh,
And I don't know why. It's just felt right.
Sometimes
it just happens.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's calling. Guy one is calling to you.
Yeah.
I used Guy one for years actually. And in these recent years, I came back to a teapot, a clay teapot. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So maybe just pay attention to the water stream and see what I was doing. I'm going to do the waterfall, which means spot, one spot way of the water going in, but the texture of the water stream is very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, dun 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 dun. Guy one calling. You know that song. You know the song I'm saying.
No.
You know,
I thought he was gonna say something really profound.
I did too.
you know the
want
song
one.
"London Calling" by the Clash.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right. I do understand that now.
Guy
It didn't
one
sound like it,
calling.
though.
Yeah, no, not.
It didn't sound like it. I thought you were gonna say something about the texture of the stream.
That's why you don't want me here.
This is why we do want him here for the
Yeah, so much fun, man.
comedic relief.
Let's see. So, do you have a cup? Not yet.
Now you have one.
And then you have a
Smelling cup.
蚊香杯, and then I'm gonna give you a cup
Thank you.
and a 蚊香杯.
All right.
A little bit confused with 3 people today.
So this is the thin stream. It's kind of a thinner stream into the.
Sure, sounds good. And then the same thing with what we go through, snapshot, where the fragrance is going, where does it stop, what is the texture, does it move, what is the movement, texture, etc., etc. Yeah, and when you taste it, where is the tea? Is it moving? Where does it move? Where do you feel the tea? Is it big? I think it's there, but not so much, kind of a thing. Yeah. And the second one, we are going to brew the same tea.
It's a very familiar tea.
Dang ding.
Yeah.
Dong ding.
I'm glad, because I was just saying before we started that I really was needing some dongding in my life.
We poured it out before you even got here, so
Cool.
Yeah.
on the same wavelength.
Wow.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Because I was just like, gotta do some dong ding today.
I feel like it spread a little bit.
Some, right?
Yeah.
So second way of water in with exactly the same tea. So the same thing, just watch the string and see what's the difference.
So it was from higher. It seemed like it was like you're doing almost the same speed at which you were pouring it, but it seemed like it was the second one was a little bit higher from a higher height.
Cool, I felt you right there.
Is that wrong?
Wrong.
Is that wrong?
No, it's not.
You're right. I think she did pour it from a little bit higher height.
I did?
You did it by a little bit. But
Dang.
that's not really what's important today.
Oh, okay.
So
all
I
right.
felt you still.
But there was something else that was different besides just the height at which it was poured.
I try not to make it too different but I don't want to take a measuring thing and say I'm gonna pour it right from that place.
Right. Might need to watch again
Yeah, we'll do
on the second one then. Interesting.
Okay, first infusion of a second tea.
I really want to guess what the
Second.
difference was. But maybe I'll just wait.
First, taste it. See if you can taste the
Yeah,
difference.
smell, see what's the difference.
Wow. It's definitely like thicker in my nose. Maybe it finds its way up there a little bit easier and like deeper.
Good.
Also smells a little bit sweeter. Just like in the empty cup.
Yeah. But it goes in a little bit more. And it feels like you feel like it goes in
Yeah.
to your nose a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I also feel the breath.
It's got more puffiness.
Yeah.
It's more like it's a little more kind of three-dimensional in the way that it spreads.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, I felt like it was spreading along my tongue. Where I think this one kind of is getting up to the roof of my
More,
mouth and like.
and even for me personally, underneath the tongue on the side, it's all more clear. Before the first one, I thought, well, there is it because the tea is capable of doing that. However, the presence of the breath, and then even on the empty cup, is that it's kind of going in, and you got to focus a lot to see if it's really going in or it's in my imagination. The second one is like, yes, the scent went in to my nostril, go to my head, no problem. The length is longer for sure, and the breath, the presence where I can feel it, everything become more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Totally.
cool.
I think if you use like the body-based analytical tea drinking technique that we've been talking about in the tea tasting episodes from the beginning, you can notice it at every point. the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not really calling out to you at those
True.
points.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally true.
Yeah. And so today, maybe lack of a better word, I'm going to use the word presence of a tea. And remember, I think I talk about tea brewing and tea drinking is we want to call out a satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
We want to brew tea. We want to brew a good cup of tea. And we feel, when we drink it, we feel satisfied. And we use different techniques to show the tea presence, to show the flavor, to show the impact, the aftertaste. We use heat to do that. We use different methods, try to open the tea, for example, focus the tea, etc., etc. But what if we use some of those methods? I think you probably notice before I brew the tea, I heat up the tea well, which is a way of opening the tea. However, without the correct water strain, then let's say the tea open in the same way, one tea feels bigger somehow, which is another opening, just because the water strain are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so more and more details are coming into our tea brewing sessions now. And you can see it has a huge impact.
Yeah.
And let me go to...
I'm going to film close up on the phone camera.
Yeah, good idea.
Really see the difference in the water stream.
Okay, and I'm going to try to keep it on the same height. So maybe
So
on the
it's not the
second
height,
one,
yeah.
second one tell me.
Oh.
Maybe not. Okay, and maybe this high, and then I will see. I don't know how to do this.
Okay. Stop picking your nose, John.
Did I?
Stop it! Don't say that out loud.
He didn't pick his nose.
If Sunny,
Yeah,
He's never picked
like,
his
wait a minute.
nose.
if Sunny is like editing that and then have a drink and she's gonna choke herself, man, that's not nice.
I'll just say I've never seen John pick his nose.
That's the
before.
reason why we don't have a
Stop,
camera for Noah, is because he's sitting over here picking his nose the whole time. He's just projecting it onto me.
True. And then now Sunny decided, how much should I cut, man?
Yeah, she is
should
not
I
gonna know.
keep those, or do listeners think that's really funny?
Yeah, it's
should
like,
I keep
does
it?
this make it better or does this make it worse? Leave the stuff in. All right, can I guess on? I'm still wondering. Like, so, what I'm noticing is that it's filling the gaiwan slower.
That's true.
Like the water is filling the gaiwan slower.
That's true.
So that tells me that it's either a weaker stream
Eh,
or a thinner stream, or maybe that's the same thing.
yeah.
The first time versus the second,
Yes.
which was
Actually,
stronger.
you used a word the first time you described it. Speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the speed of water pouring.
Right.
Is it-
Okay.
Actually, this one's slower, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's way different. Yeah. Wow. It's cool.
So the second one probably feels a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Then the
As
first,
tea,
yeah.
the tea opens up.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hopefully on the first method of water pouring in, but it's on the second infusion.
Yeah.
The tea naturally opens up because we already
Mm-hmm.
did one infusion. And I have to say the second try, the water stream, even though it's slower, the quality was actually not too bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like what Noah said, how you described it as like everything is there in the second one. Like that it's going up into my nose a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll be excited to see how the second brew of the other
On the
method
method, yeah,
kind
second
of
method,
clarifies clarifies it a little bit more.
But this second one, this is a dongding, a charcoal roasted dongding.
Mhm.
The side should be really strong,
Yeah.
and it's not showing up. It shows up, and yet not super strong, even
Mhm.
compared to the second method. First trying, the presence of the side and underneath the tongue of this charcoal roasted dongding was stronger on the first infusion, which the tea shouldn't be opening up as much as the second infusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And let's do the second water string in method,
Okay.
second brewing. Let me get a cup back first though.
I will say that last one turned out pretty well.
So I hope this is pretty much the same height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely see the difference now.
I try to keep it as close as possible on the height and on the string thinness and thickness, but the way it goes in, that feeling is different. Normally when I do dongding, I actually don't do it this thing, which will touch on that subject in the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah, on the thickness and thinness of the string will also have an impact on the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is more about like the force at
Yeah.
which you
Eh,
pour.
The power behind it.
The power behind it. Okay.
And do you remember when you brewed a cup of tea and Shiuwen talked about your shoulder?
Mhm.
Said relax your shoulder.
Yeah.
This is all related to how well you maneuver your body.
Yeah. Yeah. Because later we'll show one more. Let's focus on this one because I go ahead of myself too much sometimes. I'm just too excited. This morning I was brewing tea. I was thinking about 6 episodes
Yeah.
of the content. I was like, okay, our time is very short
Yeah.
before Noah leaves. So we got to have at least 6 episodes. Okay, I do have materials, but how do I play it out? You know, yeah. In what sequence makes a bit more sense for people?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still wrapping my brain around how the force at which you pour doesn't affect the thinness and the thickness of the water stream. But people will see in the video that it is the same. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, it's actually hard to make it the same.
Right.
If you're
Right.
changing the amount of force you're putting behind
Right,
it.
right.
But taste this tea. You'll
Okay.
see a
Taste
big
this
difference.
one. And see the same quality
Oh yeah.
totally shift.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
And see the flow
Mm-hmm.
of the sand. Goes up more easily. And the bottom of the empty cup, the presence is more clear.
Yeah. It's so cool how, and I said this in the Waterfall versus the Whirlpool episode too, but like you can really see the way that you pour is reflected in the scent, like immediately. It's really obvious. There's kind of like the force is there, is matches, you know.
Yeah, it's giant, right? It's
Yeah.
it's really clear. It's
Yeah.
really obvious when you drink the tea.
And it's just amazing
You
to
think
me.
it would be less. You think it would be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a small, very small thing.
Yeah.
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 It's really big.
Cool. I'm gonna drink it now.
Drink it. Yeah. Feel the tea.
That is really dramatically different. It's like so smooth.
can you feel everything much more?
Mhm.
It's almost got amplified.
Oh yeah.
And it moves too now.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more easier to trace the liquid. Actually, it's finally moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just that small difference of how the water goes into one spot of your guy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's not like when it's stronger, the tea tastes better. It's all about the quality of the string. So I'm gonna move the first tea bag again. I'm gonna do a strong one. Let me see if I can pull this
I can do
out.
it. I can definitely do it.
Huh?
Really strong, but not very smooth.
No, I want to block it.
You want to block it like with a really strong power?
Yeah, I want to block.
I think I can do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. You want to brew?
Let me know. Just pour it from here.
Whoa.
Oh.
It'll be really blocked, but I'll make it really strong.
Oh, okay. On T1, okay.
Yeah.
So it will be
Wow.
strong. Strong doesn't mean anything. Remember, strong breaking it apart is not a good thing. It's
Yeah.
like can be the worst thing ever when you can do it to a tea, when actually you break a tea. But this one, I'm not sure what not try to do.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
you can go.
You say what you're trying to do.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, she's practiced so much that she's really good at brewing tea, so it's hard to go back and like make it taste bad again.
So maybe I should do it.
I could do it though. I can definitely do it.
Okay.
You want to
so-
just make it really strong but blocked, right?
Yeah, block.
Yeah.
I want to make it strong and block. You
Okay.
actually can block the flow.
I'm really good at that.
Cool. I bet I'm even better than Noah at that.
Now you guys are all machoing to see who is better at blocking
Who's
my
better
tea.
at being worse at tea? I will say that that last cup that you brewed is really lingering. You talked about presence. Like
Yeah.
its presence is still
Yes.
with me, and even the second. Even the second brew of the first method didn't have the same kind of presence that the second one did.
Yeah, yeah.
Even now.
So when I talk about presence of a tea, it got to be the whole package. The beginning, which is the scent, tasting part, and the aftertaste. How long can you feel the tea? Obviously, this is the same tea, right? Well, not obvious. It is the same tea.
Right.
I even take it out from the same bowl so people don't feel like maybe I like play a trick. It's the same tea. And yet, the presence of beginning, middle, beginning means scent, middle means taste, and end means aftertaste. Just because that small amount of the string differences into the guy one makes a dramatic presence different. And so when we are talking about we want to, make a tea taste satisfying, a tea should have all of this beginning, middle, and the end. And hopefully they last longer, they are more complex, they are more open, etc., etc. And why is this important? Because why are we brewing tea anyway? What's the purpose of tea brewing? If it's not to make the same tea taste better and better every single day. Better doesn't mean that we have to make it amazing. All I'm saying is just to make the tea satisfying. And when I feel satisfied, is I want all the three aspects to be present.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for the same experience at all. I abandoned that idea many years ago.
Right.
Like my same tea have to taste the same equally, like the same taste, the same experience, the same good. I don't look for that at all. But I do want it to be satisfying. And because I know I do this, it's really hard.
I'm sure it's gonna help though with the blocking aspect that there's like it's like overflowing. I'm very excited for this one.
But can you block it with the same height?
Because that was definitely like right on top of the
was much lower,
leaves.
Yeah, much lower.
Oh, boy.
But very, very strong water string into the tea
Very
bag.
strong.
I'm not sure if I would call that blocked.
It's different though than Shiuwen's tea.
It's way different though. I don't know. I don't know if it really is. I don't feel like it's really like
Open either,
spreading the same as the previous one.
More this way, horizontal.
Yeah.
The sprain is way more horizontal. And then that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the detail that Shiuwen's.
But
Right.
there's a huge presence because of how strong the water was going in.
It's also really different than when she was doing the really weak stream, right? It's much more, but it's not nearly as defined.
Yeah. And I'd say the same about the scent.
The scent, it almost feels like it's going in, but not. I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
To me, it just didn't go past. It didn't go up and into my sinuses and up into my head the way that yours was going, the one with the strong stream. But it also didn't just stop the way that the weak stream did. It kind of like had a tendency to move back towards the back of my throat from my nose. So
Because
there's
of
two
how
paths.
the water string goes in.
There's two paths that it can take, right? Is up or back through the sinus and back to the back of the throat. It took that path by
Interesting.
far.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it also felt like, remember when we did the raw tea versus the roasted tea? The raw tea had that feeling of like, it's like it spreads out as soon as it touches your nose.
Yeah.
It doesn't have focus.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't move
Kind of like
the same
nebulous.
way. Yeah, it kind of had more of that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like I've had the same experience.
Okay. And then let me see if I can block it.
But you think that was not blocked?
Well, yeah, what is blocked anyway?
Yeah, that's a
what
question.
was I looking for?
That is the question.
Yeah.
So there's different qualities of water stream, and really the best way to get there is just look at it and then try to copy it.
Mm-hmm.
And if your water stream looks like natural, like a waterfall looks, it's more likely to be able to open the tea in a really nice way. Like Shiuwen's stream, if you look at the quality of it, it looks like it's kind of just dropping without the influence of a person.
So let me see if I can
Interesting.
do a different strong way, because I'm gonna on purposely tense up my body. So tense up my shoulder, tense up my body, and I'm gonna do it pretty strong, and I'm very uncomfortable right now. And it's pretty strong. Okay.
That looks like what I would do at home, actually. That looked quite a bit like what I do. That is resonating with me, what you said about making it feel like there's not the human influence on the stream. That is a really interesting way of putting it.
The way to think about it for me is like you become like a structure, like a natural structure. So you loose yourself to the point where like instead of your mind having clogs in your body, you let your body be so loose that it just sits on top of the earth, and then let the earth, kind of like the way that water falls off of a rock. There's like a natural structure to that. But then there's also the way of pretending that you're not there and just letting it drip out. That's not really the same thing.
I see.
You see?
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
So I don't know if you guys actually observe my body. I on purpose tense it up, and that's what happens when we are not used to pouring water in a nice flow, but we do want that flow. Then because of the weight of the tea kettle, we naturally, either people, so maybe people can focus on my shoulder right now, people like unconsciously tense up the shoulder because we want to lift the weight that we are not used to, or we lift it this way, or we use our body to try to balance it. Then we tilt our body off center just a little bit. And so if I need to tilt my body back into the center and I want to lift this weight that I'm not used to, one is get used to it.
Yeah, you got to hit the gym.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta hit the basically. Yeah, I just like got to like live it, practice.
Or brew tea with a full kettle of water 3
Yeah.
times a day.
Yeah, brew tea with 4 kettle and then get used to lifting a way that you never get used to, and then consciously. Did you see? I just.
Let the structure of your body hold it rather than the tenseness of your muscles.
Yeah. I need to do this.
Because you can use muscle to hold things. You got to use your muscle. And right now, am I not using my muscle? Yes, I am. But I want the flow from my body to be even more. Then I loosen up the joints. I have to loosen up my joints to be able to. So I don't want to raise my shoulder to be able to lift the same weight. I have to relax more. I have to relax more. I have to relax more. I have to relax more.
So the higher you go, you're adjusting.
It actually
in your
have
shoulder.
to relax more.
So I need to go home and just lift the kettle up and down, maybe.
That's one way to practice, yeah.
Yeah. And then consciously say, I want to loosen up my shoulder. How do I do that? So this one is the tense up body, brewing. Still T number 1. I think we just messed up T number. Might as well just mess it up.
It's a lot harder than you make it look. The motion seems really natural, but it's like
We have to practice until it feels natural before it is.
Because ever since I brewed for you and you told me about that, I think about it. But I still kind of feel like I catch myself all the time. You know, catching myself with my shoulder up or leaning a little bit this way.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Which is good. Catching oneself is the beginning of realization.
Now the tea's kind of pissed.
Yeah,
It's like, can you just make a decision? If you want to do it badly, just do it badly. Now I'm angry. Now the tea, that's what the tea's saying.
Yeah, this one wasn't. This one.
It's not very pleasant.
This one didn't do a. Yeah, this one wasn't happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not happy.
But
Yeah.
it also shows the tenseness of your body too.
Yeah, because my body tends up to brew the tea.
What's-
When you become sensitive enough as a tea drinker, you get to capture a lot of things and then go back to yourself. How do I reverse that feeling?
You know, and what's scary to me right now is that that actually reminds me of how it tastes when I brew very often. That last one. So that
I've
feels
tasted
like
your tea
important.
though before, and I think that I know what you're talking about. There's a tenseness,
Mm-hmm.
but yours doesn't taste like that though.
All right, maybe it's not like that,
Yeah.
but but it's interesting to be able to see some of that when you guys brew wrongly, to kind of see some of my own brewing in that.
Because that roundness disappear, right?
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least in the
yeah.
broth, that roundness, openness of this tea totally disappear because I intentionally tense up my body.
And is this the charcoal? This is the charcoal. This is. I'm positive that is how it has been when I brew this tea at home. I think it's like that one because it doesn't really leave me with the same like kind of satisfaction or like the same. It doesn't have the same presence. Like, you know how that one's already gone, right? That one didn't really stay.
Yeah.
That's how it is when I brew this tea at home. This exact tea.
But the string was pretty strong, right? And it's just the kind of similar height
Yeah.
of what I've been doing today. So let's go back to the second guy one and then just do a regular brew. And I'll try to relax out. It's really hard to tense up a body.
Yeah.
When you get used to practicing a certain way, then when you do it wrong, when you do it in a
On purpose
you feel the pain even in a higher degree. Yeah.
Can I actually do something? Can I pour this one?
Yeah. So this one is not mess up one.
Yeah, we're gonna stop messing around. Get serious.
This is the just let it fall out. I'm not like too concerned on making my shoulder as loose as possible. At least it's not where my focus is. Although I do try to center myself. I can't brew tea as well as Shiuwen does, but you can taste this one.
And did you even have it when you started? Were you resting the kettle on the table for a moment, like before you?
I did just like this. Well, it's hard to do when it's that far away.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's still a power to the stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as refined as Shiuwen's. But when I do it that way, I find I can just let it kind of like... Because the higher you lift it,
I see.
the harder it is
right,
to do.
Right.
If you do this, you can kind of just let it fall out naturally without working too hard.
That makes sense.
Mm.
So you started lower. Right. Okay, that makes sense. That's interesting. I'll be curious to taste the difference in this one.
You need some fan? And then here.
But would you say that there was more force in that versus the way that Shiuwen was doing it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe less.
Actually,
Less.
feels less.
I'm gonna need to watch the replay of this episode so I can analyze the differences more closely.
And not so much... for me, what's worked... Sorry, I shouldn't tell you what to do, but for me, what's worked in practicing this is not to try to figure out the exact things to do, is just watch and copy and get a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel like it feels like the broth moves with less effort into my nose than the previous. Like it's like it's you could tell you can tell by the scent that it's like less tensed up.
Mm. And the structure becomes a little bit rounder, softer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This one is really getting in here for me, in my sinuses and into my kind of, what is that? Cheeks?
Mm. So now since you are actually sensing I can never say the word, horizontal
Mm-hmm.
way, then focus on another line. Then you will become more sensitive on tracing going up and then spreading at the same time. And that's really exciting.
Oh yeah.
Eh.
Oh yeah, it's definitely,
Going
this is
up
cool.
to, yeah.
This is cool.
Yep, here you go.
Oh, that is cool.
Hit a jackpot today.
Dang.
I love helping people to sense more because sometimes a tea is always there. It's just we couldn't sense it. Therefore, we don't know if we can call out this or that. But some people who can sense more because they practice be focused and taste more tea, they sense more layers, more structures of the tea. Then when they brew the tea, it's easier for the tea brewer to call it out.
Mm-hmm.
And on a different subject, let's say when the tea have two separate lines on the structure in the scent, going up and going spreading into your cheek and sometimes actually reach the throat to the back. This will be a fun thing. Actually, it's behind the ears, if I can call it out for you someday. If the tea actually is doing that and we cannot sense it, for me, it's very wasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wasted.
The thing is, if no one ever tells you how to do it, then, you know, you're just stuck trying to figure it out on your own.
Right.
So there's some techniques that you can use that really help to amplify it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's kind of like I mean, I've been thinking a lot about audio. It's kind of like the amplifier, like a good amplifier versus a not so good amplifier. They can both make the sound equally loud. It's not what you're going for. You know, it's the presence of all the components is just there for you, or it's kind of muddy and then really loud.
Right. It's like
you know?
the clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clarity, layers, structure. I'll keep repeating all these words. And
It's another way of adding more energy into the system, kind of like heating the water to as hot as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I consider all of this is a beauty. When the tea is loaded with this much beauty, and we only see such a tiny little bit of it, it's almost, I feel like it's really wasteful. Almost like there's a huge mountain in front of us, and we can't even see it. And the mountain is just, it's so beautiful, so much detail, even the shape, the things that's on the top. And yet we couldn't see it because I'm so nearsighted. And I just can't see it. And you kind of just see a vague something. But it's there though.
Right.
But I can't see it. And one day somebody told me that there are a lot of stuff right in front of me. The mountain. I said, yeah, I do see the mountain. It's okay. Yeah, I do see a mountain. No. Did you see the beauty? Do you see a deer on there? What? There's a deer? I said, you gotta wear glasses, man, or step closer. So somebody gave me a pair of glasses. And it's like, wow, so much more details that have been right in front of me, and I couldn't see it because I'm nearsighted. Maybe I'm really bad at
I thought that was a good analogy.
So what are we doing to this one? Maybe do one more, just
Sure.
4.
Yeah, let's do
and
another
then,
one.
And then see if you can see now how fast, how slow is to see the energy of the string. I ask myself a lot, which is a curse and is a blessing. So all I see is actually how far it goes in. There's like an imaginary, a place that I couldn't see and yet I can see. And someday my goal is to let the string go really deep into the pot. It doesn't go deep enough for me.
This one in particular or in general?
All of them. I can't reach very deep. Like I cannot, my string couldn't reach to the bottom of my gaiwan and my teapot yet. Yeah.
Wow.
I can see where it stopped. That's not enough for it to go in. So wait for it. Maybe 2 more years.
Wow. That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
And lately, only a few times, I think 2 days in a row, not just the quality. I think I'm going a bit crazy actually. There's a time, space in the string that I was able to make it happen, and it was super beautiful. And I want it to happen every single time. Not on the speed. There's almost an invisible time within the stream that I can make it almost alive. 2 days now, John.
Cool.
And
Recently?
Yes, and it disappeared again.
Oh no.
Today it didn't show up.
Oh.
There's no time. There's a physical time that I can sense, but there's not a spatial time that I was talking about.
Interesting.
It's really fun, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then nothing to do with the speed. Yeah.
This is complicated.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah.
I would say complex.
Complex, yeah.
Yeah, because you start to see details, then it becomes more and more complex.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you can see the spatial time, things become really, really beautiful. That there's a texture in the time that, oh yeah,
That's really far out.
we
though.
should stop there.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
not talk too much about that.
Okay, yeah.
The point is just like
Thank you, Noah.
just kind of copy that feeling of like
Mm-hmm.
trying to get that look more and more like a natural water source.
Yeah, I think what's going on with me is I think I've gone so far towards being focused on my shoulder that I don't know if I necessarily even watch the stream that closely because I'm so focused instead on this. But, you know, the reason for focusing on the shoulder is for the sake of the stream. So I think I need to...
Me, I had the exact same thing. I had the exact same experience as you. And what changed it for me was just trying to focus on the quality of the water.
That is what I
Yeah.
need to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to... That's definitely what I need to do.
yeah. Whatever you practice is a good thing. And no problem. It's gonna show up easier and easier for you to relax your shoulder, by the way, because you notice more. And if you want to practice watching string, congratulations. Raining season is coming. Watch any place that is water coming down.
Cool.
Yeah, when I go hiking, I watch. When there's any form of waterfall, I will stop and watch it.
Or like in a
That is
roof,
the coolest thing
when
I've
there's
ever
like
heard.
And roof is the best
so
roof.
corrugated roofing.
Just
Yeah.
off the roof, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
When it's raining and you get one stream of water coming down.
I'll have to explain this the next time someone catches me just staring blankly at someone's roof.
Wow, I like that
Wow.
one.
It's like, good job.
Even your faucet.
Mm-hmm. Just turning the faucet on and off.
Yeah, and then make it drip.
Mm.
And then make it a small stream and make it really big. Do you really like that though? Is that really good quality when it's that really that big?
Mm.
Yeah. For example,
Yeah.
just at your home, you can watch a lot of things waterfalling.
Yeah. Wow, that is great. This is exciting for me.
How about this one? Are you focused on it?
I was not. I was just. I was so
okay.
focused on the waterfall thing, I drank a sip out of the scenting cup first.
No problem. But it feels pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's with me, and it's my whatever jumps into my mind.
okay.
I
It's
will
okay.
say it, and very good at Noah always is here to help me to focus the subject into a little bit more focus.
The reason that I wanted to show you my lazy man's method is because even if you are working on practicing the other method, what Shiuwen's practicing,
Mm-hmm.
if you can kind of catch that feeling, then at least you can get the tea to open. It's not as detailed and beautiful, but
Okay.
then you can feel what the tea's capable of a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Step number 1: open the tea.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to make the tea open,
Right.
and then later work on details. That's what I'm doing. Well, at least I move from breaking the tea almost 50% of the time in my tea brewing to nowadays I hardly break my tea, so I make a huge progress. Yeah. So strong doesn't mean it's always the best. There is a quality in the strongness that will help your tea to stay open and hold down the fort and the structure. And that's the step number 1: open and be grounded. Not open, really open, and then breaking into pieces because the tea doesn't taste good when the structure got broken.
And would you say that the one that we all drank and agreed that there was nothing really going on with it, would you say that one was broken?
A little bit, I would say lopsided. Is that
It's a
good?
little, yeah. I would
it's
agree.
a bit like,
It's off. But
yeah, it's off. It's pretty off.
when something's really, really bad though, it's a more extreme kind of a feeling.
Yeah. To break,
The structure is totally broken. It feels
yeah,
different.
yeah. Yeah, this one feels like flat and lopsided.
Right, okay.
But broken is like really unpleasant in the mouth, and it almost like a knife just go point at you.
It's really hard to purposely do it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it shows up when you
Nowadays.
don't want it to.
Yeah. Most of the time it's that way.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's it for the day.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's great.
People just focus on the water stream.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me.
Everyone go
Talking
look at
about
some water.
Space.
Go look
Yeah,
at some
look
water.
at
Study
some
some
water.
water. Study
I
water.
am not pulling your legs. I do watch water when every single time I have a chance, I look at when water is falling down.
That's great.
I love watching that.
Mhm,
Yeah,
me too.
and it
That's really
helped me to try to remember. You copy us when you brew tea. I copy that too. I copy people. I copy nature. I mean, I watch their body movement.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how a cat is jumping. It's like wow. Talk about relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I think that's it. See you next
Bye.
time.